Listen, guys, I know you guys have experienced and heard, at least a little bit about this 4B movement started out in South Korea. Basically, South Korean women were like, you know what? We don't really want to be bothered with the men out here anymore, guys, right? And so now it has spread to the United States of America, and these women are absolutely losing their mind over this thing. I don't really see the actual benefit in it, but I mean, I get it. Listen, if you need to do something to because you think the world is basically ending, right? Then do your thing. If that's the case, you want to shave your head, right, and be as completely unappealing to the opposite gender, then do your thing, bro. Like, I mean, again, it is completely fine. I'm not sure any of us are actually seriously angry, specifically those who don't specifically, let's say, politically align with those individuals in the first place, right? It's completely fine, right? Completely fine. And now apparently they're out here trying to sterilize themselves. Guys, this is getting crazy, all right? But again, you're not really harming the rest of us because you sterilizing yourself just means that there'll be less of you in the long run. So, I mean, I get it, that could be bad, but is it really? Oh no, let's check it out. Hosts react to liberals sterilizing themselves after Trump's win. This is a suggestion. Guys, this is crazy. This is a suggestion via Discord, guys. Let's go and do it.
To be a wild segment. First, they were shaving their heads in outrage over President-elect Trump's win over Vice President Kamala Harris. But now, listen to this. Women are getting sterilized after Donald Trump's victory, saying it's their only option. Newsweek spoke to 5 women who have undergone the procedure or plan to do so in the wake of the election. The women say they did it over their fear that the Trump administration will take away their reproductive rights. One told the outlet she felt, quote, the election tied her hands. Emily, I want to delve deeper into that individual who said that. Let's pull this up. This is Newsweek. Last week, a 39-year-old from Washington State, that is very young, who did not want to be named, underwent a bilateral salpingectomy. Hopefully I said that right, in which her fallopian tubes were removed. Quote, I am not happy that I felt forced into a surgery. I did not want to alter my body. I feel like the election tied my hands, forced me to be sterilized. This is horrible. She says, with Trump's victory, we quickly learned my choice to cancel the surgery had been taken away. What does she mean by that?
What? What?
I'm sorry. I view that as the most...
Guys, come on now. Like, listen, the delusion factor in this one there is absolutely crazy, guys. Someone with that, level of, lack of understanding. First of all, Trump had nothing to do with, and definitely will do nothing, for the most part, to take away any of your rights to do whatever you want to do with your body, in that sense, guys. And the reason how I can say this with such confidence is, it is up to your state. Okay, you're talking to the wrong person. You're looking at the wrong person. You're fear-mongering the wrong person in this instance. All of this stuff bounced back to states. It is legitimately states' rights now. Okay? If you have that issue, you're in a place where you actually, you want to delete babies for sport. I'm not saying that's an amazing thing. It's actually a terrible thing, right? But if that's what you are looking to do, then you need to more speak to your governor. Because your governor now is setting that precedence, guys. But either way.
It's perverted joke of someone who is totally missing the point. And that is that President Donald Trump actually empowers every single person, that their vote actually counts, that the Roe v. Wade being overturned meant that it restored the power to the people on the individual level, on the state basis. And I wish that that person had used clearly the platform that she was granted and clearly the money that she has to better use, which would be for advocacy, for local elections, for local community work, and for actually educating others rather than totally destroying her body. And when you contrast that with all of the countries who are currently at war with at Ukraine, with Israel, with Hamas, with so many people who are just barely surviving today. And she has the money to elect to destroy her body and any hope for reproduction for the most insane interpretation of this president who is assuming office. I am shocked, and who I feel the most horrified for and the most sorry for are her parents.
Well, it's not just the women.
I mean, yeah, that's actually terrible, but think about this here. Most likely, if she exists, then that means her parents put her into most likely an area where people like her, like-minded at the very least, also exist. So you never actually know. Her parents may have a similar mentality, oddly. It's plausible, guys. It is, in fact, plausible.
Women, it's the men too. I thought all the liberal men got their vasectomies at the DNC. Apparently not. So let's pull up this headline. Vasectomies rise 1,200% after Donald Trump election win. And to that, we go to our resident male.
I would never. I don't care what you say.
Brian Kilmeade.
There's no
Thanks
way you
for
can sell
not
this
asking
on.
me Emily's
Sell
question.
this to me.
You lost me at fallopian. But a couple of things. I mean, I thought this was a joke. I thought this was like from the Weekly World News. I mean, obviously, number one, you are losing your reproductive rights by taking them away from yourself. Yes. So I'd rather take it away from myself. But it's also good news for the Trump fans. There's going to be very few. They're not going to, non or Trump haters are not going to be reproducing, which could be good for the MAGA world.
I told you this. Guys, I don't pre-watch videos, all right? But just be fully aware here. The things that they actually are like begging for and they want, right, are things they're taking away from themselves, but they don't understand that now, within one generation, guess who there won't be? Guess.
Who have not reacted that way. They probably, I'd like to see a study, a pie chart, but I imagine there's more MAGA people being created at this moment because they're elated about the result.
Maybe.
More on that later.
Yes, well, and we also have poisonings for you if you didn't like the former two topics. This is crazy, literally crazy. So women online have taken to filming ghoulish murder fantasy videos in which they romanticize lacing men's beverages with deadly poison as a justifiable response to fears about abortion rights under Donald Trump. They're calling it the Make Aqua Tofana Great Again. Aqua Tofana Kennedy is a 17th century Italian woman who sold poison to wives who wished to kill their abusive husbands, and this is a fad online.
Yeah, she's considered the most...
Let me guess, TikTok? See, listen, guys, I just recorded a video about TikTok being banned, guys. Like, this entire thing, I call it TikTok brain. That's what I call it, right? It's just like this rabid energy, let's say, right, that just seems to, like, almost exclusively be exuded from these, like, specific, like, groups, guys, right? That end up being, I'm trying to be nice here, guys, apologies. They end up all over TikTok. I call it TikTok brain, basically. Long story short. And yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. Most likely this came from TikTok.
Prolific serial killer in history.
I knew you knew who she was.
But it's really terrifying because, you know, I look at the women who were shaving their heads and the ones who were having their fallopian tubes removed, and I'm like, maybe for the better. You know, it's like you seem very unstable.
Right.
Parenting is tough. Like, you probably don't want to get into that game. It might be better for society as a whole. And also, you know, it's like, go ahead and advertise the crazy. So men can go ahead and find some women who actually might be more amenable wives. It might be more fun partners. So if this is what you do, if this is what politics drives you to, get a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're taking things way too seriously and also seeking a lot of attention for something and just advertising very oddly and also advertising your own mental unwellness.
Seems easier to move abroad than get a surgery.
Well, I don't know. You might ask Ellen DeGeneres and Portia about.
They're not going to move abroad. Specifically American women. I mean, guys, if you have lived anywhere else other than the United States of America, like, please just be fully aware. All of these Western countries, this is the place for women to be exclusively. Like, if I was a woman, I would literally be in none of the other countries. I'm just going to be honest here. As a man, go wherever you want, in a sense, guys, right? But as specifically a woman, if you are born and raised in the West, do not leave the West. Okay. Like, I have a son and a daughter. I have 2 sons and a daughter. I want my daughter to be here. In fact, she needs to be in the United States of America, teaching her all these things, right? Yeah, take advantage of everything you can take advantage of as a woman in the United States of America. But my sons will not be marrying in the States or in the West. There's none of that. I didn't marry in the West. I wasn't raised to, let's say. But in fact, my sons will not be marrying in the West, but my daughter most likely will.
They're having a tough time right now. That weather has caught up with them, sadly.
Well,
undiagnosed mental health issues in this country are not a joke. And I am concerned, wholeheartedly, that where we have gotten now with the sort of political victimhood that these women are talking about is really dangerous. Like, we're not really looking at how much damage this causes down the line. maybe one of these people will end up being, an aunt or a parent or something like that. And this is who we're dealing with. I mean, this is a sickness that we're talking about now. And the United States of Attention, that's not what the A stands for. Yes. It is the United States of America. Okay. And it is troubling that we have so many people who are so thirsty, you can't quench the thirst, so they do surgery on themselves. No wonder this is the political party who thought it was okay to secretly, without a parent's permission, do surgery on a child who might be confused about a gender issue. Yeah. I mean, it's self-mutilation. That's what this is. Mm-hmm. And it is unacceptable and untenable. And I look at this as people who really need help. Mm.
And one of the Newsweek women, to your point, did not tell her family about her surgery, but talked to Newsweek under condition of anonymity.
Attention.
Exactly.
The A is for America.
How does that make sense, guys?
Hey, everyone.
All right, guys. I don't think. How about this here? It is, in fact, your body. Do what you want to do with it, right? Like, if you want to get to the point where you want to make it so you can no longer have any children, and you'll no longer basically, have any children, right? Your bloodline basically ends there. If that's your thing, I mean, that's your thing. I would definitely hope that wouldn't be something that actually, would be real, being that we're under the 2.1 on the scale of birth rates, guys. We are in a pretty much a free fall, right? That would be great if we could actually, I don't know, grow more Americans, but do your thing, live your best life, right? I mean, how many more generations of America will there actually be now, guys? Let's be honest. Right? I mean, we're definitely not a gigantic fan of mass immigration. So how many more generations of America will there actually be past now? Right? I don't know. Things are getting more politicized. People are getting into corners and not being able to kind of see both sides of things. I don't know, guys. I mean, it would be great if our country would be here another 100 years in a similar state, at least, as it is now. But I'm not sure, guys. Right, women are waiting much too late in life now to have kids. The average woman, I guess, is unfortunately starting to they have their first kid as they're entering into geriatric pregnancy. That's not a solid, way to grow your nation, right? So I don't know, guys. I mean, this is a troubling scenario here, but we're here living through most likely one of the last generations of this country, guys. Solid ones, at least. But all right. Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. This is my lightsaber. Hey guys, you guys subscribe to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Oh, also, Mr. L. Boyd Discusses. Guys, check it out. And if you haven't heard it today, it's amazing.